Discover the transformative power of Zen and the art of NLP. A lot more success with a lot less stress on Transformation Talk Radio. Every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, Dr. Steve Simpson combines the principles of Zen philosophy with the techniques of neuro-linguistic programming to help you achieve your goals with ease and tranquility. Whether you're seeking personal growth, professional development, or improved relationships, this show offers practical strategies and insights to navigate life's challenges with a calm and focused mindset. Get ready to embrace a new level of success and serenity. Zen and the art of NLP starts now.
Hello everyone, it certainly does start now today, because one of our greatest gifts is probably the one you never think about, and it's your gift of visualization. I'm Dr. Steve Simpson, and you are listening to Zen and the Art of NLP on Transformation Talk Radio. Today's headline topic is the power of visualization. How seeing is believing. It certainly is. Do you know what the artist Michelangelo thought about visualization? He said, or he wrote, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free." Do you know what the boxer Muhammad Ali thought about visualization? The man who has no imagination has no wings. And final quote for you. Do you know what the writer William Arthur Ward thought about visualization? If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. I have to say that's my favorite, but I like them all. And the source of these three inspirational quotes is from brainyquote.com, and they are a great resource for us all. Stay with us for the next 30 minutes, and let us help you experience that sweet spot of mind, body, and soul to embrace a new level of success and serenity, helping you achieve a lot more success with a lot less stress. Today, you're going to learn how to turbocharge your power of visualization and manifest abundant health, wealth, and happiness in all their various forms. Visualization is making your own movie in your head. It's not just about daydreaming, though. Visualization is a very powerful tool for communicating ideas, achieving goals, and improving mental well-being. How good does that sound? Please post your questions and comments, and I'll do my best to answer them in the final part of the show. You can also call in live to our live call-in number 1-800-930-2819. Right. If you feel frustrated because you don't seem to achieve what you deserve from life when others do, the chances are that you've forgotten how to see the big picture. Forgotten how to see the big picture. Now, step one to fix this is understanding that making movies in your head is your default state of mind. Step 2 of 3 is understanding how great film directors load their movies with vivid sensory content to engage your imagination. And step 3, which is the most important bit, is to learn how to direct the movie of your perfect life. But trust me, I'm a doctor. This is a lot easier than it might sound. So, you've forgotten how to see the big picture, is that right? Okay, step 1 to fix this is understanding, as I said, that making movies in your head is your default state of mind. So let me give you a few examples. Helen of Troy, we're going back to the Greek-Roman wars, and she was one of the queens. I think she was on the Greek side. Anyway, she was a beautiful woman and a very strong woman. And her face was so beautiful that people said, "This is the face that launches 1,000 ships." Well, good for you, Helen. And that means to me that a picture is very valuable and it must be worth 1,000 words. Therefore, what about a movie? That must be at least 1 million. So making movies is going to help us. Back to the quote, the one that I particularly liked. I'm going to say it again. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Imagine, same as visualization. If you can dream it, you can become it. So, despite what you might think, everybody has the power of innate visualization. I'm on the training team for some of these big NLP training courses, and maybe several hundred people. And very often, when the subject is visualization, people will hold up their hand and say, "I'm sorry, I'm not being difficult, but I just can't visualize anything." Well, they're not being difficult, but they can visualize. They just really don't know what it is that's seeing, what they're seeing, what's in front of their eyes. If you have dreams, then you are visualizing, because otherwise you wouldn't know what you're dreaming about. If you know the color of your front door, you're visualizing because you're making a movie or maybe just a photo, a little picture of your front door, so you know without thinking about it that it's red or green or blue or white or black, whatever it might be. And also, finally, for those of us who still have a few doubts, if in doubt, trust millions of years of evolution to make us the way that we are. The miracle of creation or evolution, whatever you believe in. Step 2 is understanding how great film directors load their movies with vivid sensory content to engage your imagination. Well, they can only work with 5 senses because those are the resources that we have to experience our consciousness. And it's the senses of what we hear, what we feel, what we taste, what we and smell. See, hear, feel, taste, and smell. I tried to drop in a few NLP terms here because this is part of our title, Zen and the Art of NLP. And in NLP, we refer to these 5 senses as representational systems. That sounds very complicated, but if you can just remember the see, hear, feel, taste, and smell, that is more than enough. And the director is going to make sure that he or she ticks all of these boxes. Now, it might be difficult to get you to taste things and smell things, but you can get pretty close to it on the screen. And before you learn how to direct your own movie in step 3, let's highlight some of the benefits of visualization, why this is, in my humble opinion, a very good use of your time and skill to learn. Well, you're going to get some enhanced creativity. Visualization as a tool can help you develop new ideas, see things from different perspectives, and solutions to problems that had previously seemed impossible to solve, unsolvable. It can, and maybe I need this, improve your memory. By visualizing information, you can encode it into your memory more effectively. We've got a heck of a lot of nerve cells processing visual images, so let's use them all. They're so powerful. And there are some, I guess they're lucky people, who've got a photographic memory, because literally when they look at a page of text in front of them for a few seconds, they can close the book, throw the text away, and they can write it down or dictate it pretty much word for word. That'd be handy if you've got an exam coming up the next day, haven't you? It can increase your confidence. Visualizing yourself succeeding and doing great things can only help to boost your confidence and self-belief. See yourself doing these great things, running the movie, seeing the pictures. It can improve performance. I work with a lot of elite performers, athletes and musicians and writers and stuff. And these people often use visualization, what they see as normal, to rehearse their forthcoming performances mentally. I've written several blogs on the subject, and one of them that I remember is my advice to spend more time lying on your bed with your eyes closed than in the gym or on the playing field. A lot more comfortable, and surprisingly enough, pretty much as effective as the real thing, because when the scientists put these electrodes all over us and measure the electrical currents of how the muscles are being used, even when we're doing little tiny twitches, it's pretty much as the same thing. And of course, there's a lot of this about stress reduction. That our rates of mental health have never been worse than they are at the moment. And if we want to worry about stuff, there's definitely a lot of things out there to worry about. But visualizing calming scenes or experiences from our past, or what we want for the future, or even our imagination. Calming scenes or experiences can help to reduce stress and anxiety. And just a sort of a little health and safety note here, the opposite can also be true. So, careful what you wish for. This is a true story. As I mentioned, I'm on in the past. I don't do so much of this now. I don't have the time. But I was on training teams for NLP events, workshops, and my one remaining phobia, I think I've only got one left, and that's of being late for anything. So I overcompensate, of course, and so I'm always the first person at any event. In fact, this particular one, the doors hadn't even opened yet, but there was a nice, comfortable couch in the reception area where I could sit, and I thought, okay, catch up on some emails, maybe have one of my energy bars. And I just started tucking into my bar when this person walks across, and I remembered his face, and he said, "Is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions?" I said, "Sure, come and have a sit down." I'll put my bar, save it for later. And his name was, I'm making the name up now, because I don't want to give his real name, but let's say his name was Pablo. And what I'm not making up is that he was a classical guitarist. And I said, I'd seen him on some other events before, and this is the first time he'd come up to me. So I said, "Yeah, what is it?" He said, "I'm regarded as one of the best classical guitarists in the world. That's what people say. And when I'm practicing on my own, I can believe it. But when anybody's watching me, it has such a bad effect on me. Even my coach, I don't like him being in the same room. In fact, sometimes I'll ask him to face the wall, but I still know it's there." I said, "Okay, I can see how that's a bit of a problem, putting it mildly. Tell me more." And he said, "Well, when I'm on stage, I look at the audience, and I can see they're not interested. They've got their arms folded. They're looking a bit cross. Some of them are eating their sandwiches and stuff like that." And I said, "Everybody you're talking about?" This a generalization in NLP we always question. He said, "Yes, absolutely everybody." And I said, "Look, Pablo, I talk on the stage quite a bit. And when all those bright lights are on, I know you can only see the first few rows, and obviously you can engage with them, but you've got to remember everybody else at the back and maybe up in the roof who are watching you, and you can't see those at all. So how on earth can you see? Your eyes are pretty much the same as mine." He said, "Well, I don't see that, but I just know that that's how they're looking." And there you see, there's the problem for old Pablo. And so that's exactly what I spent the next 5 or 10 minutes talking about. Let's shift those pictures around in your head. Let's get rid of that horror movie off the top shelf and put in a real one of him looking through his own eyes at the audience, or a camera looking at him and a camera looking at the audience, and they're all enthralled, which of course they would be. So there we are. Careful what you wish for, but just remember, this is a strength. You can turn things around to play different movies. So just to remind you, you are listening to Zen and the Art of NLP with Dr. Steve Simpson. We're going to take a very quick break, but before we do, please take a moment to think about these 3 questions, which I ask in every show. That's because I think they're important. What is the one thing that you desire the most? What's the one thing that you desire the most? Second question. What is the one thing that's stopping you from achieving it? Stopping you from achieving it. And this is the last one, the third one. And this is also one that maybe will surprise you, because most people have thought about these things, when they're making their goals, and think, this is the third one. Believe me, this one works very powerfully if you do it right. What is the one thing that you want to share with others? What's the one thing that you want to share with others? When we return, we will discuss step 3 and learn how to direct the movie of your perfect life. That sounds good to me. Helping you achieve a lot more success with a lot less stress. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. And we are right back. The best way to connect with me, and I hope you do, is to check out my website, drstevensimpson.com. Sign up for my free weekly newsletter, yes, it won't cost you a cent, and discover plenty of other free stuff to explore as well. And also some great books, hypnotic audio books, and coaching programs to purchase, if you will. So there's lots to look at. And I can confidently, as you would expect, confidently recommend the Hypnotic Ring of Confidence audiobook with 28-day email support, so that you're not on your own. The Hypnotic Ring of Confidence can be applied to absolutely anything and anyone, because confidence is the universal grease. Without it, life's a bit tough. With it, life can be so much fun. Now, I did kind of cue you up for step 3. I did say it's going to be the most important step, and it is. But it just might be the easiest one, so don't worry about a thing. And step 3 is to learn how to direct the movie of your perfect life. And it's an exercise which I invite you to join in with me. And it's about your big project. I see, question 1 going back before the break was, what is it that you most desire? Hopefully you thought of something. If you didn't then, think of something now. What do you really want to achieve? And you've got 12 months to do it. 1 year. The big project. So find a quiet place. Sometimes that can be tough, but look hard. Find a quiet place and relax your body. Assuming you're in a safe place, close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Breathe through your heart area. Breathe a little deeper than you normally would. And breathe a little slower than you normally would. Now, do you remember what I said about representational systems? Basically, they're your 5 senses. We're going to engage with all of them. And this movie of your big project, which you are starting to assemble, maybe a lot of it is done already, I want to build it up and stuff it with what you see. Now, another NLP word I'm going to slip in here. Submodalities, because every sense has a drop-down menu of submodalities. So what you see, let's make it big, 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 as big as you can be big as your house, big as a hangar, big as your imagination can be. And we've got the choice of black or white or color. Let's go for color. I know black and white can look good in certain circumstances, but color has got so many different textures. Color movie is normally almost always better than a black and white one. What else can we see? Is there a frame around the picture? Well, if there is, just scrub out that flame, because you're wanting big, you don't want any boundaries on it. Is it in focus? I hope it is, because you've got the best operator, camera operator in the business on your side. So the sound is beautiful. What can you hear? Can you hear other people talking? Can you hear other people saying, what a great job you've done, how wonderful your project is, will be, who knows? But there will be sounds there. And of course, there'll be soundtrack. We all love soundtracks. And people get paid a lot of money for writing soundtracks, and rightfully so, because music can convey emotion. Remember Jaws? Do, 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 do. We knew immediately that the shark was in the water. We couldn't see it, but we knew. A lot of movies I notice, somebody's waiting to go into a room and we hear a fly buzzing, just one fly buzzing. And that tells us, other side of that door, there might be a dead body. Be careful. All right, so we could go on with what you see. There are a few more modalities as well. But, back to what you hear. The soundtrack. Yeah, we can talk about the soundtrack. Yeah, of course. And and maybe there's applause, maybe there's champagne bottles, maybe it's just the wind blowing through your hair. Again, you're choosing the best bits of noise, the best sounds that you can, or what your director or your producer says. Now, what do you feel? At the end of the day, this is what the director is really working at. Emotions are more powerful than facts. We use our senses, but it's the emotions where we put everything together. It might be fear, it might be excitement, it might be anticipation. It might be good, it might be bad, it might be love. There's always a lot of love in movies. Even the worst kind of movies, there's always love there somewhere, because every director knows how powerful that is. What you smell and what you taste. Yeah, well, they're things that are harder to get across on a film, but just, the picture can tell the story. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but well, if there's a nice picture of a rose, you can guess that there's going to be a nice smell of roses. And what you taste. A lot of movies have people eating lovely food, having parties, laughing with each other, and lovely wine, lovely fruit juices, the honey of Hybla, all the best things in the world can be in your movie, and they deserve to be. So the more specific and detailed you can be about your project, and you seeing yourself working through it, is the best. The more vivid your visualization, the more powerful it will be. And it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's when you know that you're doing it really well. So fast forward to the celebration party exactly 1 year later. You're having a ball, of course, surrounded by all of your friends and backers and supporters and fans, and everybody's having fun, everybody's smiling, you're happy. Oh, you never thought this day was going to come. And you're enjoying it when you get a little tap on your shoulder. And there's this lady, and she introduces herself, gives you her name, and she says, I'm the reporter from the local newspaper. You're achieving quite a lot of comments, and people are loving the work you do, and they know how much you're putting yourself out there and how this is going to help lots more people. So I thought I'd come along. I hope it's okay. You've got a quiet moment. I just want to ask you, in your project, what were the most difficult challenges that you had to overcome? Because readers are going to want to know that. What are the biggest challenges? Or was it just all absolutely smooth? And that's when you start laughing. So, no, it wasn't. It wasn't all smooth at all. So yeah, I certainly can tell you, I can list a few of the things that were faced us. I mean, we had to get finance to start with, and we didn't know where that was going to come from, but we got it, and various other things, and technical stuff that I'm not good at. You can't do anything these days without technology, but fortunately we found people who are prepared to help us. And then the reporter says, so if there was a single tip that you could give to our readers, what would it be? You have to think about that, because this is important. This is your opportunity to share something. So be brave. Don't make it bland and boring. Don't worry about what people might think about it. Don't worry, it might be a little bit sort of arrogant, because it's not arrogant. Just say it. What is the one thing that you can pass on that's going to help people? Okay, we're coming towards the final bit of the show. We've got a few minutes left, I know, and there's a couple of questions that I might have time to answer. So here we go. John from London wants to know. This is a good question. I have been asked it before, but not many people think of this. Do blind people visualize? Well, the answer is that they do, particularly if they've been blind from birth, because they don't know anything else. That's the environment. Now, they obviously don't have a visual sense, but they have all of their other four senses. Now, nobody in their right mind, no designer in their right mind is going to design a brain where all the stuff that visualizes things, that's a lot of millions and billions of nerve cells. You're not going to leave that just doing nothing. So what the brain does, don't tell me how, I have no idea how it does this, but it recruits these cells and gives them other jobs. And it deploys them to, auditory processing and emotional processing. And a great example of this, it was a few years ago, and I watched this video on YouTube, was somebody they call the Bat Boy or the Bat Kid. And this young man was blind from birth, and you see him on his bicycle pedaling his way through rush hour traffic, cutting in and out of the traffic. How on earth is he doing it? He's making clicking noises with his mouth, and I'm guessing these nerve cells are interpreting, and he's building his three-dimensional spatial picture of where he is. And Lucy from Miami wants to know, can visualization help people with PTSD and bad memories? It can. It's a very specialist area. It's a very tricky area because the last thing that people with PTSD want is to be triggered. So I do not recommend anybody try that themselves. There are people who do that kind of work. So, search them or let me know and I can put you in touch with somebody. So the favorite part of the show for me, it's time for the Zen and the Art of NLP top tip of the week. Practice regularly. The more you visualize, the better you will become at it. Practice regularly. The more you visualize, the better you will become at it. Practice is a great word for anything, because when you keep pushing things through the same neural networks, the myelin sheath thickens and thickens and thickens, which means the signals can travel faster and faster and faster. And then that as part of the neuroplasticity, that network is remembered by the brain. The same process people how to ride a bike. Practice regularly. The more you visualize, the better you'll become at it. This is the easy way to a lot more success with a lot less stress. So thanks for joining us today. We've got a great program lined up for you on the same day, at the same time, and at the same place next week. Be there and invite all your friends and family and everybody else too, even the people you don't like. Who knows, you might even get to like them. Let's all raise the vibration of our world to a higher frequency, which needs it. And finally, don't forget to check out my website, drstevensimpson.com. Sign up, free stuff and plenty of other stuff too. Thanks for joining us. Deep breath. Goodbye for now. See you soon.
You have been listening to the Zen and Art of NLP. A lot more success with a lot less stress. Tune in every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio as we dive into the depths of your unconscious mind and awaken your intuition, unlocking hidden talents and supercharging your personal and professional relationships. Continue embarking on a stress-free journey towards unparalleled success by subscribing to future episodes and stay updated on the latest content. Easily share these captivating shows with your loved ones and create meaningful connections. Book a personal session with Dr. Steve Simpson to delve deeper into the topics that resonate with you. You can visit his website at drstevensimpson.com.